Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as promised, is going to be about my labor and delivery story. So it was a wild one, at least for me. I know that there are more wild stories that other people had. However, for me this was crazy. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. My due date was on Christmas Eve, December 25th. However, I ended up delivering 4 days later. So on the 28th of December, I was feeling, actually it was 27th, I was feeling a little bit like unease with lower back pains, with the stomach tightenings and stuff, and all that continued on December 28th. This day I had my doctor's appointment, so I mentioned all of this to her. So she checked me and she said, well, everything seems normal, like you can go home. Everything seemed normal, like there's nothing to be worried about, you can go home. And I told her, like, I feel like unease, I have pains. She said, you're only 3 centimeters dilated, so that's not something to be worried about. You can go home. We have decided that with this child I want to give birth naturally, because with my first it had to be done C-section. So since they were past 2 years, actually my kids are 5 years in age gap, so I could try VBAC, and we were planning on having VBAC. However, the situation turned around and we ended up doing a C-section. So we came back home from the doctor's appointment, and my water broke for the first time in my life. So I wasn't sure if it was my water that broke. So we went to the hospital here in my city. It's a nearby hospital, small hospital, and the nurses checked me and they said, yes, it's your water that had broken, and it's better for you to go to your hospital that you're going to deliver your kid. So we took the bags and showered in a hurry and we went back to the hospital. Another 2-hour trip to the hospital. When I got there they said, yes, your water is broken, and however, you're not contracting. And they left me the whole night for me to try and to dilate more and contract more. However, nothing happened. In 14 hours since my water broke, I have only dilated for 1 centimeter. The day that I went under C-section, I was dilated like 4 centimeters and a half, I think. And they said, we are risking your child to get an infection since your water is broken for so long, and it's better for us to do C-section. So we ended up doing C-section, and thank God he was born healthy, and he was crying and he was peeing, so I couldn't ask anything better. I couldn't ask any better outcome. About my recovery, well, I ended up contracting, I think, almost contracting an infection. While I was at the hospital, I noticed that from my wound was leaking some liquid. I didn't know what it was. However, I told the nurses, and they said, oh, nothing, it's just normal. We came home. Actually, before we came home, I ended up receiving 2 units of blood since my blood was very low, and we came home. After 4 days that we came home, my wound started leaking like crazy, and I ended up going to the surgical unit here in my city, and they told me that there was a pool inside of my stomach, and they managed to drain it, and luckily my wound wasn't sealed completely, so the wound can leak. Otherwise I would have contracted some infection and I would risk my wound to get infected. So yeah, that's plus in the whole situation. And my baby was okay, and after this hiccup it was like, well, I wouldn't say like it was great recovery, because you know, you're in pain, you're bleeding and everything. However, it was better than my first recovery. I was up much faster and I could do the things around the house with no problem. After a while, at first my husband was doing all the chores, and later, I think around 10 days postpartum, I continued my usual routines. So that was about the labor and delivery. I had problems with healing, with the wound healing from the inside, and the contraction of the uterus, and my uterus was not going back to normal like in a long time. So I had that kind of problem this time. I don't know, it's because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, like PCOS, or if I have the bicornus, I guess in English, bicornus uteri. I don't know. It's specific conditions. So yeah, all of those factors contribute to everything that has happened to me. It wasn't like, I don't know, like before dying, God forbid, but it was wild and crazy for me because I was scared the whole time. My first labor and delivery with my older son was a scheduled C-section, because he was breech baby, and that's why I haven't experienced some of the things that I did experience here in my second labor and delivery. So it was hard and scary because I had to go through all of it alone. My husband wasn't allowed to come near me. He was sent back home, so he had to go to the same hospital. Like he had to pass the same role like 4 times, 2 times going, 2 times coming back home. So he was very tired when I called him and I said, hey, I just got done delivering a baby, so we have another son. So yeah, and I know it's not as wild as some other women had, like I've seen videos, but yeah, this was my wild labor and delivery story to tell for life, and hopefully no one has to experience this kind of things. So yeah, but thank you guys for taking the time to watch my video. I know it may have been like rambles and like me rambling and stuff, and this video I am filming while my kids are napping, so that's why I'm talking like on a lower side. So yeah, please consider subscribing to my channel because it helps me a lot, and I like creating videos because this is me. I am like this rambling person who wants to talk and talk and talk. However, I do like making videos. It's like my hobby. When they go to bed, I get to sit and edit and play with the videos. I'm still learning though, however, but maybe I will get better in the future. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye guys.